Welcome back to the Simply Spoiler, and the movie we're talking about today is called the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. I know the title's a mouthful, but bear with us as we dive into the whys of you watching this movie. It is based in 1946 when a writer in London receives a letter from a residence in the island of Guernsey, which was occupied by the Germans in World War II. She receives a letter about a book of hers that he had found, and thus the correspondence between the two begins. The letter instantly lights her up, and she buys the book the society is looking for in exchange for the answer to 3 questions. Why did a roast pig have to be kept a secret? How could a pig cause you to begin a literary society? And the most pressing of all, what is a potato peel pie? She meets her beau, Mark Reynolds, wearing the most stunning yellow dress, but ever since her correspondence with the man, she feels out of place in his world of glamour and rich, which compels her to find out more about society. She's so engrossed in books, even during the wartime. Next, we see her going on a ship to Guernsey to find out more about them. On the ship, Mark proposes to her before she goes, and she says yes. She takes a small boat to the most quaint town, and once she's found a place to stay, she meets Eben Ramsey, the inventor of the potato peel pie. She puts away her ring because she feels out of place in the small town. At the meeting, she feels very unwelcome as they're not very receptive to an outsider. She sits with them and presents her story, Anne, to which they listen to. But she feels there's a very sad story between the group, which is sealed. She wants to uncover the story, but as soon as she says she wants to write about them, Amelia quickly refuses for her to share anything about them in the Times piece that Juliet is writing. She learns all the kids were evacuated before the German occupation. Elizabeth, the founder of the society, was arrested and sent off to the continent. She goes to Dorsey, the man she's sending letters to uncover more about her. She learned they had mines and big fortresses the Germans made the slaves build for them and were treated like animals. She learns that Amelia had 2 daughters, Jane and Elizabeth. They were the best of friends, and even though Elizabeth could leave, she stayed for Jane as she was expecting. But the Germans came and then no one could leave. Jane died in a bombing, and Elizabeth decided to stay with Amelia, who couldn't bear the loss of her daughter. She then starts going through the archives to start putting their story together of the occupation because she wants to find Elizabeth for them and for Kit, her daughter. She forwards every detail to her fiancé, who's in the army. He also looks for why she keeps delaying coming back to him. Juliet, however, feels something keeps pulling her back to this place. She spends more time with them and discovers Elizabeth had been involved with a German soldier who was then shipped off the island and died. However, Elizabeth was expecting and had a daughter. But when she discovered one of the slave workers a child, she went past curfew, leaving Kit with Dorsey. The child was shot and Elizabeth was arrested. While Juliet spends time with the society, Mark flies in and surprises her, where she is a bit taken aback with the horrific news that Elizabeth had been killed while trying to help someone. Mark flies her back on a military plane, and when she gets back, she's not herself. Sydney, her publisher, asks her to write the story, so she writes a manuscript with the name The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society and sends it to the society saying she'll never publish it and they're free to do whatever they want with it. She has a fallout with Mark and ends her engagement. When the manuscript reaches Dorsey, he runs off to England, but on the boat, Juliet sees him, who's off to Guernsey herself. They get engaged and make a life with Kit and the society, who are now Juliet's biggest critics and cheerleaders. That's all for today. If you'd like us to review movies, just leave a comment down below and we'll definitely review the movie for you. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.